Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about don't give up. You know what I'm saying? This message is to basically encourage the followers of God, man. Don't give up, man. Like, fight till the very end, bruh. Do not give up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fight till the very last microsecond, bruh. You know? Because I'm pretty sure y'all noticed that sometimes God could turn the tables when you at your breaking point. You know, sometimes it's like God waits until you at your breaking point to turn the tables. Sometimes it feels as though God waits till the very last second to turn the tables. That's why I say do not give up, you know, and keep fighting till the very end. You know what I'm saying? Keep fighting till the last second, the last microsecond. It don't matter. Because, you know, what if you give up and then like in the very last second, you know what I'm saying, God turns the tables. So you will never figure it out, and you will never figure it out was probably the wrong word, but you would never you would never get to experience those tables turning, and you would never get to experience that victory because you gave up before the tables turned. You know what I'm saying? That's why we should never give up. And I feel like that's why we should continue to fight till the very end, till the very final second, you know. Because sometimes it feels as though we're fighting and we're fighting and we're fighting, and sometimes we don't be seeing the results that we want to see. And I understand it could be discouraging. And there's nothing wrong with feeling discouraged because it's just honesty, bro. Like, when you're feeling discouraged and you say you are discouraged, you are just keeping it real, because there's situations in life where you're putting in so much effort and so much work and you're not seeing the results. That could be very discouraging. You could feel like, man, like, have you ever thought like this, right? Have you ever just sat back and thought like, man, I put in all this work, but it feel like I ain't seeing no results. But look though, but you know this is what God wants you to be doing though. So it's like, have you ever felt like even after all this work I put in, I feel like I'm in the same boat as the people who never did anything? Have you ever felt like that? Be real, bruh. Be honest, bruh. Have you ever felt like even after so much work, I ain't seeing like what I'm supposed to be seeing? Like what's going on, God? And then you start to feel like, man, am I at the same level as the people who never did anything, the people who never tried? Have you ever felt like that, bro? Have you ever thought like that and experienced that? You know? Have you ever experienced that? Whereas, man, even after all this effort, I feel as though I'm at the same exact level as the people who never started. You know? And sometimes the devil could even like be playing with your head, bro. Be like, look at you, man. You at the same level as the people who never started, bro. Like, if you stop doing whatever you was doing, it wouldn't even matter if you stop. You might as well just stop. The devil could be talking to you and telling you all this nonsense because he's trying to like get you to give up. He's trying to get you to quit. But that's a lie. That's a lie is because the reason why that's a lie is because the people who never did anything and the people who never actually tried, they are nowhere near your level at all, bro. Because you gotta understand something. You went through so much and you learned so many lessons. You took so many risks and lessons, and you endured so much and you gained so much wisdom, and you tried so many things and you failed here, you tried there, you failed at this thing, you tried something else. You know what I'm saying? You took your L's, You know what I'm saying? You took some W's, you took some L's, but even though you're not where you're trying to be, like you could be at a point in your life where you are not where you want to be, and you feel as though all the effort that you put in does not equal to the results that you're seeing, or does not equal to the rewards that you are seeing. But the thing is though, um, like you are way like you are way ahead of the people who never did anything. You know what I'm saying? You are way ahead of the people who never did anything. And I'm going to tell you why you are ahead of the people who never did anything. You are ahead is because you have so much material, so much content, so much stuff that you've built, so much experience. The people who never tried and the people who never started, they will have to take those L's that you went through, because nobody just starts winning right away. You know what I'm saying? Those people who never started, they have to take the L's. They have to go through those years of just losing and going through all types of L's. You already went through those L's. You ahead, bro, because the L's is a part of the journey. When you're taking those L's, it's a part of the journey. So the people who never started, they got to start losing and losing and losing and losing and losing and losing. And a lot of people give up on they, let's say like the 10th L. On the 10th L, they give up. But what if you got to keep going to the 21st L, and the 22nd is the victory? The 22nd time is your big victory, bruh. I'm talking about big victory that's going to change your life. But you got to get through those 21 L's. But God ain't even going to tell you everything. God is not going to reveal to you that you got to take those 21 L's first until you get to the 22nd. The 22nd is going to be the big win. But God is not going to tell you, because you got to have faith and you got to go off of faith. You know what I'm saying? So this is why it's very important to fight till the last. Never give up. Just keep fighting, bruh. Because look, how can God help you and how can God favor you when you ain't fighting? I'm going to repeat that one more time. How can God favor you and how can God bless you when you're not fighting? You got to fight, bro. You got to try. You got to show God that you're trying, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, I use my life as an example. I'm the type of person, I max out everything before I go to God and be like, God, please, man. You know what I'm saying? Help me, man. You know what I'm saying? Before I go to God and I'm like, God, please help me, I max out everything. I do my best what I can. I try my best. Then I'm like, okay, God, I tried my best. I maxed out. This is what I got. Please help me. So when God hear my prayer versus when God hear the prayer of somebody who like, God help me, I ain't never did nothing. I ain't never tried. God help me. So whose prayer God gonna take more serious? The person who tried their best and they maxed out the resources that God gave them first, and then went to God. God, I need that extra push. I need some help. Which prayer is God gonna take more serious? Be real with yourself, bruh. The person who doesn't want to try, the person who doesn't want to do anything and they go to God asking for help, or the person who maxed out the resources that God gave them first, then they go to God and ask for help. Man, God is going to take the person who maxed out the resources that God gave them first, then go to God for help. You don't just go to God for help without trying your best, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta try your best, man. You gotta like really show God, like, hey God, I really tried with what you gave me. Like, now I need your help. You know, because God is not gonna do everything for us. God is not a babysitter, bro. God is gonna respect the person who really maxed out their resources, who really did what they had to do for his kingdom first, and then they go to God, be like, hey God, I need help, man. Because even after you max out your resources, in different cases, you're still gonna need help. Because that's just life, bruh. Even after you max out your resources and you try your best, you still gonna need help. And that's when you talk to God and you be honest with him. God, I tried my best with what you gave me. And now I just, I just pray that you really have your mercy over my life and your favor and really help me in my situation. God is going to take that prayer way more serious. He going to respect that prayer way more than somebody who doesn't want to try. Somebody who doesn't want to do anything, but they like, oh, God, help me, man. Help me make it out of this situation, God. But they don't want to try. They don't want to do anything. So why should God take that prayer serious when they not even trying to take it serious? They not trying to take their situation serious. You gotta show God that you're taking your situation serious, man. You gotta show God that you're really trying your best to make it out of that situation. Then you'll be like, okay, God, I need your help. I feel like people who max out their resources first and they do their best first, I feel like they have a special respect for God. They not treating God like a babysitter. They not treating God like a Santa Claus. They not treating God like that. They really trying their best first. Then they go to God to ask for help. Because they not trying to treat God like some type of, just babysit me and, be my Santa Claus and this and that. They not trying to treat God like that. They have a special respect for God. That's why they try their best first. And then they go to God after. They don't just show up to God empty-handed talking about, God, fix everything. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to try. God, fix everything, please. No, man, they have a special respect for God, to whereas they're going to really put some respect on God's time. They're going to respect God enough to try their best first in what God called them to do. And then they're going to go to God and ask for help. That's real to me. You know what I'm saying? That's real to me. And I feel like we should always try our best. And for the people out there who's not trying, man, I pray that y'all really start trying, bro. Start fighting, bro. Start fighting to just make it out of that situation, man. Start fighting, bro. Like, that's just what we got to do, and that's just what we got to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand that there's special situations out there and they are different scenarios and, different perspectives out there that could, I don't know the right word, but there's just different scenarios and different perspectives out there that do exist. You know what I'm saying? I might not be able to think of one right now, but there's certain perspectives out there and certain scenarios that do exist that, people do need God's help, but they might not be able to do what they got to do. There's different types of things, but that's where honesty comes in. That's where you got to really talk to God and really be honest with him about your situation. Because there's many situations where you don't know what people dealing with. Like there's special situations out there. So I'm not even going to overlook the special situations out there. But, I just wanted to say, man, like, don't give up. You fight till the last microsecond. You fight till the last millisecond. Whatever time measurements, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like those fight scenes in like anime. Man, you throw hands till the very last microsecond. You do not leave the game and the tournament. You do not leave. You throw hands with the enemy. You throw hands with your situation and with the enemy until the last microsecond, till the very end. Because, man, like, you never know. Some games are let me say this. Some games are won in the very last seconds, bro. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Some games are won in the very last second. The tables could just turn in the very last second. So never give up, man. Don't give up. And that's just basically all I wanted to say, man. Peace.